We know the tropical waters have very rich biodiversity. There's a massive amount of resources that are available for us to exploit, and how to exploit it sustainably will become a huge challenge going forward. So
the United States and other like-minded actors, including India, are doing what they can to protect freedom of navigation so that these waters are not defined by their conflict but remain conduits of trade and exchange, but also standing firm for the established rules and norms of the international system.
America's aims in the Indian Ocean region are to work with a, quote, leading India, to have a strong and resilient partnership with India that is interoperable and interactive, both before and potentially during conflict, that bridges other American partners in the region, and that situates India as a net security provider in the Indian Ocean region.
Now, a word about the geography and the choke points of the region. We find that the access to the Indian Ocean region from the Pacific side is basically through four choke points. First is the Malacca Straits, then you have the Lombok Straits, the Sunda Straits, and the Ombai-Wattar Straits.
There are many smaller states in the Indian Ocean, and we can really conceive of them not only just as small states in international affairs, which is a growing subfield of the discipline, but relationally as smaller states, because they navigate strategic competition between large powers or major powers like the US, India, or China.
For millennia, India has been a seafaring nation. Indian seafarers landed all over the Western Pacific and the Indian Ocean shores over centuries, bringing with them prosperity and the eternal gospel of peace and coexistence.
We have damaged land, water, air, biodiversity, you name it. Now the issue is that if we are going to add another $105 trillion in the next 24 years, where do we get those inputs for creating that outcome? We will need energy, we'll need materials, we'll need technology, we'll need water, we'll need everything. And so far a record of that everything getting from the environment has not been an example.
Dr. Das, earlier you talked about your frameworks. Our framework here at the Near East South Asia Center is very similar. We focus on engagement, outreach, and education as our three primary vehicles or pathways to interact with our partners. So if we can get in and work with a partner, the things that we are keenly interested in doing are things like developing a faculty, reviewing curriculum inside of a potential university, develop methodologies to deliver the curriculum that are based on adult learning models and outcome-based education best practices.
Seafloor mapping is still largely uncharted terrain for most nations. The world ocean covers approximately 70% of the Earth's surface, but only 15% is mapped. In 2017, the chairman of the Nippon Foundation revealed the foundation's Seabed 2030 initiative at the UN Ocean Conference. The Nippon Foundation teamed up with the General Bathymetric Chart of the Oceans to map the seafloors of the world ocean by 2030.
One is we identified that in order to pull out the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and from the ocean, what you need is a vegetation which can grow very quickly and need CO2. So we have been working for the last about 7-8 years on seaweeds which grow in the sea. You don't need land, you don't need water, you don't need fertilizer, nothing. And the crop cycle is so short, only 45 days. So you can easily take 6, 7, 8, 9 crops in a year, and it pulls out the CO2.